Welcome back to FC. Kylian Mbappe might be regarded as one of the world's best footballers, but it appears not everyone is totally happy with the French striker. A petition has gone viral after it was signed by, nearly 29 million people who want him out of Real Madrid. So if he does leave, which Premier League club suits him best? Mbappe, just to give you a bit of context, has come under criticism recently for taking a trip to Sardinia earlier this week. Mbappe hit back at that criticism via a statement. He's currently out injured and could miss this weekend's El Clasico against Barcelona. Look, Charlie Austin, he's been given time off. He's gone on holiday. Read the room. Perhaps don't put some stories of you on a boat in Sardinia. That's maybe something I'd suggest. But that's a lot of signatures, isn't it? 29 million to get him out of Real Madrid. Is that criticism fair? He's the top scorer in La Liga, and in a Real Madrid shirt, he scored 85 goals in 100 games.
All right, he's injured. He's been given time off. He's gone away. Yeah, he's posted photos or whatever it is on socials. You could obviously say don't do that, but then where do you want this connection that everyone says, oh, be closer to the players, we get to know the players via their social media. So it's a lose-lose either way what he does. But what he does when he gets on the football pitch, you can't question that.
Well, even this season, Charlie, if we're going to just... Because 85 and 100 is since he joined the club, right, from Paris Saint-Germain. This season, for club and country, in 47 games, he scored 47 goals. And he has had a season that's been plagued by injuries.
Yeah, but he's phenomenal. His personal stats are. But the issue is, when you are at Real Madrid, trophies are what matters. Now, he was always going to be next to Ronaldo. Was he regarding numbers? Because when Ronaldo was there, he was hitting them obscene numbers. But what was coming with them numbers? Trophies. And Real Madrid winning European competitions, at very least winning La Liga. Now, the 2 years he's been there, his personal stats have been phenomenal. But for Real Madrid, it hasn't been.
Is he not just receiving the bulk of this salt from Real Madrid fans who are, a little bit bitter because they haven't won La Liga for a while?
Yeah, but isn't that always happens at every club? Like the main players or whatever get the brunt of it because they're paid the most, because they're this, that, and the other. They're the main players.
But he's doing his part, isn't he?
Yeah, but exactly. But it still means you're still at the forefront. You will get the blame some way or another.
But careful what you wish for. Get rid of someone who scored 85 goals in 100 games. Where are you going to finish in La Liga?
Well, that is a difficult question. That is a difficult question. And not only that, where's it going to take you in the European competition? But with him, you know what you're getting on the pitch. There is. You can't argue with what he brings to the football club on the pitch.
I read a piece by Guillaume Balaguer, and he's pretty close to Real Madrid and watches a hell of a lot of Spanish football and knows what goes on in the corridors of the Bernabeu. And he suggests that he's obsessed with his personal numbers. Right? Cristiano Ronaldo was obsessed with his personal numbers. But is there that balance of trying to find the connection with the club as well? Because that's what some of the Real Madrid fans don't appreciate, that he's not made that effort.
Connection, mate. I think for me is that you can be obsessed with personal numbers. Cristiano Ronaldo was obsessed with personal numbers. But like I come back to it, they won trophies. He was a serial winner for Real Madrid and made his team and made his teammates as serial winners, as well as worry about his own numbers. But Mbappe, great numbers for his own personal gift, but that's got to bring trophies.
Could we see him in the Premier League? Who would he suit the best right now if you're looking at those teams at the top?
The numbers don't add up. If he comes to the Premier League, they don't. Can you see him in the Premier League? No. So for me, I don't see it. But then your argument is who can bring him to there to suit that? And the only club is Man City. But does he find a way I know you'd be like, I can fit him into any team, of course. But I'm not sure he suits Man City.
The wages would be mental as well.
Of course, from a fan perspective, I'd love him to be in the Premier League and playing at Anfield week in, week out. But I just don't think it will... The Premier League financial rules, etc., the numbers won't add up for him.
And would he be then the most expensive player in the world? Because I mean, even when he left Monaco to go to Paris Saint-Germain, which was back in 2017, nearly 10 years ago, that was 165 million.
OK, so the record's what, 195?
Nearly 200, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But when yesterday Jamie was on here saying Saka's 200 million, well, they're not in the same conversation.
So you don't think Saka will be the most expensive player?
What I'm saying is Mbappe and Saka are not in the same conversation. So if Jamie is saying 200 million for Saka, we're paying there on 240, 250 for him. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Well, what would your message to Nathan be? I know you've got one for Jamie O'Hara about Nathan on the screen there. Manchester United, Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, I mean, no. There was a time when Man United used to go and get the best, and they used to go and get the best and be able to attract them. I'm not sure Manchester United will be able to attract Kylian Mbappe.
Champions League football, Manchester United, rebuild, got to spend some money. That's the level they need to go to if they're going to claw back.
Yeah, that's the level they need to go and get players in, but they need to be winners, not just, oh, we can just give you that. Yeah, well, what did you do last year? Finished third in the Premier League, qualified for the Champions League, got knocked out by Grimsby in the League Cup, got beaten in the FA Cup. They're not attracting Kylian Mbappe.
Liverpool, Salah replacement. I know left foot, right foot, different side, whatever.
Say brilliant. Liverpool could be, going to qualify the Champions League, didn't defend the Premier League title. Be perfect replacement for Salah, but I would love him to
break
be there.
Julia's heart on the screen there. Love to see him at Liverpool. Love to see him.
I'm with you, Julia. I'm definitely with you. I'd love to see him at Liverpool. Just don't think it's going to happen. He's Real Madrid superstar. He's not leaving Real Madrid. He's a Real Madrid superstar. He is. Let's be honest. He's a superstar. He's Real Madrid's main person, and that's what comes with being the main man at a massive club like Real Madrid. When it's going well, you get the plaudits, and when it's not going well, you get the stick.
Has he still got different levels to get to at 27 years old? I mean, we're going to make you later in the show going to predict your World Cup predictions.
What we said, different levels, though, because he's...
Well, has he peaked?
Well, I don't think so. The World Cup's coming up again. He scored a brace in the World Cup final and made his country win the World Cup. He scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final and got beat on penalties. It's the next stage of where he goes. I think this World Cup will be a true telling. I really do. But I do not think he has peaked yet. Players like that, they are elite. They are very different to everybody else.
How elite is he if he's never won the Champions League?
He won the World Cup.
That's better than the Champions League. But I mean, at club level, he's never won that. You know, this is the greatest striker of all time.
Yeah, and the argument of,
you're saying greatest striker right now. We call him a striker, greatest forward right now.
Forward, because you've got Harry Kane comes into the situation, Erling Haaland comes in. I think the hard bit is that we can't get away from. The 2 years he's been at Real Madrid, they haven't won the Champions League. And in them 2 years since he left PSG, they've won the Champions League and they're going into the Champions League final again. So that will always be the question of, can he deliver on the big stage for club?
Chelsea can spend money. Could they tempt him?
I'm not sure that comes
in. They want to be taken seriously. If they get a manager...
I think that age demographic doesn't work for
27 is too old.
Yeah, I think so. But what I'm saying is for Real Madrid, I think when it comes to the question will continue to be brought up about Mbappe is if he doesn't win the Champions League for his club.
So let's say Erling Haaland does stay at Manchester City. I mean, he's got a contract till about he's 75, isn't he, there at the Etihad. Yeah. Let's say he stays. Who would be the most likely? Because you turn your nose up at United. You're not saying Liverpool. Are you saying anyone in the Premier League?
No, I don't think there is anybody.
You quite rightly said to me, actually, off air, you said, how did the Premier League let Michael Olise go to Germany?
Yeah.
So they need these stars back to the league, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't think with the financial rules, etc., I'm not saying they go and spend or cause themselves massive problems. But I don't think there's any club that can attract Kylian Mbappe other than Man City, and they've got Erling Haaland that's there. So that's not going to happen. But the football clubs within the Premier League allowed Michael Olise to leave Crystal Palace and the Premier League to go to the Bundesliga and Bayern Munich. And that should be frowned upon. But I don't see Mbappe coming back to the Premier League. I really don't.
There is a world